I'll be honest, when I started doing the donathon, I really thought that I was gonna go for like probably 2 weeks, and that would probably be long enough. But I think I overestimated how much time it really does take when you're only counting 12 of 24 hours in a day. Yeah, now we're down to the final 24 hours. We're actually almost down to the final 12. Importantly, I guess I mentioned this yesterday and I mentioned it on Twitter, but I'll mention it in this as well. Further donations are not going to increase the timer. I'm gonna anyone who wants, because I know there's some people who are concerned like that they might, or Dexter was concerned that somebody might donate and bump them out of the first spot. So what I'm gonna do is, or and they were worried that also like they wouldn't be able to get to the stream before it ended, so someone might snake it at the last second. So the rewards and incentives and stuff, any Twitch subs, YouTube memberships, any of that stuff, any bits, any donations, all that will still count towards community goals. They'll still count towards individual goals until the end of the month. But I just look, we've done 200 hours of Donathon streaming by the end of today. I think I think I've fulfilled my end of the bargain, you know? um I'll say I'm very excited for you too. Okay, so for yeah, don't worry, it didn't duplicate or anything. I'll say for those who are unaware, today is Popo's model debut day. I'm very, very excited for him. It's gonna be very, very fun. We're gonna be playing games over the weekend. We're gonna be playing I think it's Among Us, Mario Kart, Party Animals, and Mario Party Superstars to celebrate, and I'm very excited to do that. Anyways, okay, sorry, I've rambled enough. Let's actually launch the game. Also, I definitely didn't start late. What are you talking about? Definitely, definitely wasn't supposed to start at 10. Definitely didn't start at 10:30. Shush. I don't know why this pops out of a weird windowed thing. Yeah, I need rest. I've been noticing it more and more during the Donathon streams. Like, I'm not as coherent as I usually am. Not that I'm like the most coherent person in general, but like I can't speak properly. My words aren't coming out the way I want them to come out. I feel like I'm lisping, or like the words aren't wording. And like, keep in mind, I started the Donathon off the back of my the end of my semester. So I spent most of September not getting enough sleep, not eating properly, not doing anything to take care of myself. Average of like 1.2 energy drinks a day for 2 to 3 weeks in the end of September, and then gave myself all of 3 days off before starting Donathon. So like, honestly, I'm kind of surprised that I'm doing as well as I am, because like my voice hasn't given out. I've got morning voice right now, but that'll go away. But like, my voice is doing okay. I am giving myself stress pains, which is why I'm also just like letting the timer run out at this point. Because my body has decided it's giving up. I've got the worst neck pain. It's killing me. My posture must just be dog shit by this point. Canker sores or mouth ulcers, which I usually develop from being dehydrated, but also I'm developing from stress. And then just like general pains. So I'm excited to no longer have those and give myself time to rest. And I'm excited to work on videos again, honestly. Like, it's funny that this Donathon has taken over my life, but I feel like my main thing is still the YouTube videos, and I haven't really gotten to make very many of them. I made 2 of them earlier this month, but especially with the Le Seraphim collab coming out, I really, really want to get the next Member's Choice one done. Because that one was about how to use your character, or the right and wrong ways to use your characters. And I want to be able to use the Le Seraphim thing as like an example of how to, excuse me, how to use your characters really, really well. Because it's so, like, the more I've thought about it, the more it did it so many things right. Made the characters interesting. It explored what the characters like when they're off the clock in a way that we don't get to see ever with the canon stuff, because like Sombra's never off the clock. We've seen a bunch of Sombra over the years, but never like that, because she can't be like that, because in universe she's always going. So seeing her get to be this like super fan, getting to see her be like pushy and uh just going all out for a group like that's cool. We don't get to see that sort of thing from her often, and so I want to talk about that. I'm excited. It's also going to be a shorter video because I'm tired of making long ones. I've talked about this before. I made so many long videos. The last time I made a video that was under 20 minutes was back in July. And that one was just that Yeehon one that was basically a shit post one that was like an actual video. It hasn't happened since May. I'm gonna work on some shorter ones. The top donor is going to get to make a video 2, which will be fun. Anyways, let's get to this. I'm rambling. Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused. Huh? Well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department's evidence room. What's this "and the evidence room" part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car. Well, that's what we're going to find out. Or try to, at least. Alright, let's do it. I think we're gonna finish this case by the end of the stream. I hope so. Honestly, we might just run long. Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's gonna be much help with this. Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright. Huh? Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Girl, those are Barbie glasses, and they're iconic, but let's not pretend that they're, like, horn-rimmed glasses. You're not... She's like, yeah, I'm such a nerd. Love her. You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in their evidence room. No biggie. Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it. Also, no, this would kind of prove your sister maybe didn't do it if he died there and then was brought here. Because she wasn't there. She was here. That oil drum, was it empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. My sister erasing evidence at the crime scene? Never. Unless she says they don't get along. Emma really likes her sister. That's not it at all. It's just... we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her. Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright. Huh? What's that grin for? Situation calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid. Thank God! Somebody remembers luminol exists. Luminol? Blood is sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little... Okay, we did rant about this, like, for probably 5 minutes in the last stream, so I'm very glad that... I feel a little bit stupid for ranting, but I'm also very glad that one of them does it. Does understand it, especially the scientist. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. But wouldn't the police have already done those tests? Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try. Me? Why do I have to do it? I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet. We're testing bloodstains with this stuff, not drinking it. Here, look, I'll lend you these glasses. Huh? You got an extra pair? To test for a blood reaction, you spray the luminol on it. Like this, see? Press enter to spray it on. Alright, let's find out some bloodstains. I can see your eyes shining behind those glasses. So this is a bloodstain? So... Ugh. Emma, you're shaking. It's just this is my first time seeing real blood. Okay, you're not really seeing blood. You're seeing, like, the leftover residue of blood under a chemical reaction. Okay, we definitely know this is a bloodstain. Could be something else, but sure. Doesn't something strike you as odd, scientifically speaking, of course? What's odd about this scientifically? The amount. That's a very small amount of blood. The perpetrator and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood? I definitely think so. Also, why is there... Okay, hold on. This is something I didn't think about yesterday, but, like, why is... There's no blood from him on the top of the shoe. His blood is only on the bottom. He got stabbed in the chest, and this is a white shoe. You're telling me that none of his blood from a gaping chest wound dripped onto the top of his shoe, but he managed to somehow step in it? It's wild. No, they're the defense attorneys. Phoenix Wright is a defense attorney. Which is why everyone that is accused in a Phoenix Wright game is innocent of what they've been accused of. However, there is a spin-off game where you play as Miles Edgeworth where everyone is guilty of what they are accused of, I'm pretty sure. Ace Attorney... Yeah, Ace Attorney Miles Edgeworth Investigations. Or Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth. In that one, it's the exact opposite. Everyone is guilty of the crimes they've been accused of, and you have to figure it out. Look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there'd have to be more blood than this. Hey, Mr. Wright. I'm going to mark on the floor, or mark up the floor plans where we find a bloodstain, okay? See? I'm pretty handy to have around, right? Yeah, and this stuff's pretty handy too. I saved up my allowance to buy that. Aww. This is... It seems weird to add in this many new mechanics at the end of the game, but... Because this is the end of the first game, right? Like, because this is a trilogy, or like a remastered trilogy, whatever, so like... Huh. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. Then let's drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day. Yeah, it feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it? So she give this spray on anything suspicious. Ha! What, it's her. I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Miss Star! You only trust your own eyes, hmm? Not bad, you two. This day-old deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead-in doesn't really get my mouth watering. Look, I want to hate her, but she is serving. Your Honor, the facts are the facts. She did kind of slay. She is a horrible person who did probably commit these murders, or at least one of the murders, I don't know. Or at least was complicit in it, she was an accomplice. But like, everything about this outfit, love it. 10 out of 10. The weird insistence on using lunchboxes as a way to insult people, iconic, amazing. This hat, 10 out of 10. Love her. My apologies, Miss Star, but no, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from that security room right there. But I was afraid that wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Also, okay, I know this sounds outrageous. This is something that, like, people actually do very often in legal situations where they'll be like, even if they genuinely did see something, they will try to, like, spice up their own testimony and make it sound more convincing. Because they did see what they saw, but they're not sure that it's going to be convincing enough to a jury or to a judge. In Canada, we don't really do very many jury trials. Jury trials are rare here. It's mostly judge trials. And it works especially poorly with the judge trials, because judges are better at usually sussing that bullshit out. But it is like a very real issue in the law. Trying to make sure that your witnesses keep their stories consistent. Don't try and spice it up. Don't try and zhuzh it up. Yeah, especially when it's like personal, like family members who are testifying about, you know, oh, I saw so-and-so attack my spouse, my sister, my brother, whatever, at this time in this place. People tend to let their emotions get ahead of them. Wrong thing, I'm sorry. Sorry? You lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Also, yeah, fuck the judge. He's the... Ugh. Oh, hold on. I need to fix something. I'll be right back. Sorry, I mentioned this. I have a little countertop dishwasher, and yesterday I started it, and then it was being too loud, so I turned it off. But it didn't drain, so I was just like, I need to just get that done now. And then I forgot to actually hook it up to the water. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Sky stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. Oh, right, yeah, okay. So again, we've gotten no explanation for who took this fucking photograph that apparently took place the second the photo, whatever. Let's move back. Ah. I swear it on my honor as a detective. She stabbed Goodman. Bitch, you're not a detective. I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what? So you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr? Yes. It was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they faced me, they coughed it up. I love that little hair flip she does. That's so dumb. It's so funny. Coughed it up. They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know. I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day I drag the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect. And before long, they called me the Cough-Up Queen. Again, Girly Pop, you need to get yourself a better nickname than that. That's not a good nickname. That's not a... Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. And you were let go? Fired? Felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator, and if these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. It's all because of that case. The SL9 incident. SL9? Wait, she doesn't mean... what do you think about this? The SL9 incident. It's written on that knife. And on that note. Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know. Really? That knife was evidence from that case, the murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. They were finally acknowledging that this was the thing that was happening. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over. Not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? Oh, I guess not yet. What do you think about this? The SL9 incident written on that knife and on that note, Goodman... Okay, so both give us the same thing. Had one of those up until 2 years ago, back when you were the cough-up queen, right? We found this ID card here in the park... Or no, we found this ID card here in the parking lot. Well, there's no mistaking that. It's definitely Goodman's, but it's the same ID as the man who was killed at the police department. That's impossible. I wish I could be so sure. Okay, again, why will you not tell us about SL9? If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room. No, the fuck you couldn't have. But even I get flustered sometimes, so you went straight to the scene of the crime? I rushed towards the chain-link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo, yes, so not immediately after the crime happened. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime? Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were. The 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Star, you lying was the problem. Listen, little girl, I've had my testimony disregarded before. And I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. Oh. Just like that time. That time? Alright, now we can talk about us online. That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable to who? 2 years ago, it was the biggest case I'd ever handled. Oh my god, I love her outfit here too. Why she got the little beret? Hi David! Yes, it's the final day! We're no longer counting donations towards the timer though because I need to stop going. Welcome in, I hope you're having a good day. I was supposed to say good morning, but it's about noon there. Or it's about it's the afternoon there. Hope you're having a good afternoon. So they didn't solve it. On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Oh goddamn. Executed? Barbaric cultural practices, the idea of executions. You want to get edged? No, David, I saw what happened to you. I saw what happened to you and I was like, psychologically, I can't do that to myself. I can't allow that to happen. Also, I did the math on it. At the end by the end of today, I will have streamed about 200 hours of, like, just games. There's 54 streams. Actually, wait, I made a... The trauma still lingers. I made a little collage, actually. Hold on. I want to show this off because I was very happy with this. Yesterday after the stream, I made a collage of all of my Donathon stream thumbnails. And if it will let me show you guys. Okay, now I think the recording is working again. That's how big this collage is. I don't know why it did that. I've never had that happen before. It's like a 70 megabit or megabyte picture. I should probably resize this at some point. Oh god, wrong thing. How much do I need to shrink this down? There we go. Okay. This is all of them. All 54 of the streams that I have done or will be doing today. I can't believe I broke the recording. I'm gonna have to merge them later. Oh, that's so annoying. Oh well. It's so much. I've had a lot of fun with it, but also, yeah, definitely needed to end. I hope nobody's gonna be like, why didn't you finish? Like, why didn't you keep going? Because, like, I feel like at that point, I've fulfilled my end of the bargain. I've done my time. But yeah, very excited for it to be over. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun, but yeah, its time has come. Time for it to lip sync for its life. Only problem was I never did find decisive evidence, not a shred. What? But the criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence of a sort. Made up evidence. What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? Oh my god. The best part came several months after the trial. The best part? Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolman, others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those? Myself and one other person you know well. Wait, could it be... Marshall? Exactly, Detective Jake Marshall. There we go. Yeah. Oops, I mean Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. Also, yeah, I'm just... I'm... Yeah, like, I said there wouldn't be any extra donations today, also because I just want to, like... I don't know. I think it'd be good to have, like, a definitive endpoint and not allow it to, like, keep extending. Because otherwise, with the way it's set right now, the timer will end basically right when the stream, like, at the end of the day anyways. So that works out. I felt like that would just be the cleanest way to do it. Anyways, as professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined. And then it was over. And he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9? There was another side to that case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us. Wait, those lunches you sell... There's only one reason I come to sell offices in this... Sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends. Boyfriends that can help me investigate. Right, she's got many boyfriends. We'd love that for her. Miss Star's old boyfriend. Not old boyfriends, current. Phoenix, keep up. How many does she have, anyways? Just when all the detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. There has to be a connection. So, Rookie. What? It seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Yes. Then you should take this. Salisbury steak lunch? I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Miss Star? Officer Marshall, is he your... are you his... Are you going out? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago, when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister, it made me jealous. And he was nice to me too back then. This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. But now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall. I don't think we really need to do much more with her right now. Can we talk to her again? She's in questioning. Okay. How'd you kill him in two places at the same time? Can you imagine? How's she supposed to answer that? Wait a second. Didn't Mr. Gant say they'd arrested a suspect in the police department murder? Yeah, he did, and we didn't really follow up on that very much, but I would like to know more. Wow, everyone here looks deadly serious. Well, there was a vicious murder of a detective down at the police department. Yes, but the same detective was also killed at the same time in the prosecutor's lot. Makes my head hurt. Well, first things first, let's go check out the police department crime scene. You sound dead set on investigating. But don't mess up, or we could wind up dead. I doubt anyone wants any more mysteries or dead bodies around here right now. It doesn't look like anyone's going to be helping us much either. Wait, okay, no, I guess we're not going in there. It's even busier here today than it was yesterday. Detectives are running around so fast they're... Evidence here. Scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk, here it is. Real crime scene. Let's go take a look. What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric. According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room. I'd also, actually, I should probably update this. Hold on, where is it? That's probably too much to write there, but whatever. We'll deal. Beyond that door is the evidence room, the scene of the crime. It sure seems that way. Oh, what's wrong? It's those cacti. They're so prickly, so imposing. It's hard to think straight. You can't handle the cacti. Stay out of the desert. What I want to know is, if this is the guard station, where's the guard? I have a feeling I already know who he is. Yeah, three guesses. Excuse me. Look on the floor, a lasso. Looks like it's set up to trap something. A trap? Here? Wait, I know. Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here, but the lasso missed. You sure have an active imagination. Looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here. There's a light blinking below the monitor. It says recording. I bet we could use this computer to check on who went in and out of there. There's a security guard uniform hanging there. Is there? Looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly. A leather jacket, leather pants, and a leather... What's it called again? A paunchy, pinchy? I know, a poochie. Wait, maybe that wasn't it. It's a poncho, but I'm gonna keep that to myself for the time being. If these sure are prickly, they must be the real deal. I think just one big one would be sufficient. These cacti are a lot like my sister, actually. How so? Encased in a cold, rigid shell with spines pointing in every direction, just like her. I'm not so sure I see the resemblance. It's more an attitude thing than a physical similarity. The swinging door makes the place look like some kind of saloon. But look, it's nailed shut. You can't get in that way. Of course not. If you went through here, the cactus would fall over. I'd say it'd be more of a... Yeah. Okay, no. God damn it. Also, this is a lot of alcohol to have at work, and clearly be consuming at work. Like, Marshall, are you doing alright? Do you need to talk to someone? Like, not me, I don't like you, but like, talk to somebody about that, okay? Evidence room is beyond that door. Let's just walk in. It won't open. Thought it'd be open. Maybe we need to get someone's permission to go in there. And we've examined everything here. Wasn't that one steak lunch, please? Oh, it's you, Detective Gumshoe. Now's no time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is the steak lunch from that from Lunchland. Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. Yeah, you know what? If you're a retail worker, go nuts. Chug it. I think all retail workers should be allowed to have a shot on the job if they can, because you know what? Shit's difficult. A cop guarding the evidence room while he's cosplaying Cole Cassidy maybe should not. You have to remember, kids, cops aren't labor. Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. Oh, we made Dick Gumshoe sad. I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking. Now's no time for despair. We've caught our criminal, now we just need evidence. Criminal, you mean... You heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, pal? On the same day that a detective was killed and the prosecutors... Also, yeah, Marshall... I mean, maybe he's drinking to get over the fact that he was responsible for an innocent person being executed. That might be part of it. On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed in the police department? And the perpetrator, do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Also, again, I don't know how we didn't dig into that. This case has been driving me insane. It's the biggest scandal that hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy. The Detective Gumshoe, who was it? Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch pronto. Standing around here talking isn't gonna fill my belly. I'll keep it to myself. It's still before noon. Wait, don't leave. If you want to know more, head on down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figure he's down there having a good cry. Later. He ran off to the evidence room. Well, this investigation is off to a running start. No other rooms we can go to in here, right? Yeah. No. Wait, the lay's on there. Are we sure we can't go in there? Fine. Huh. Call the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. That's not to go too far down that road. What the fuck is that? Sir, that's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator? I'd say I was the perpetrator against, sir. That's what I'd say. Who the fuck's that? Oh god, it's you. Hi, greetings, sir. Wait, I know who you are. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. He needs more bullets, sir. Sorry, the sign of my mental rot is truly encapsulated in the fact that I can't fucking stop joking about that. Officer Meekins, so you're a guard here at the detention center? No, sir, I'm not, sir. I'm a little I'm a little lost patrolman, like a little lost lamb, sir. Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report? No, sir, how should I say this? Wait, he isn't... is he? You, Officer Meekins, you didn't... Did you? Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir. What? What? Now, this is an unexpected turn of events. The day of the crime. I'm gonna need you to stop doing that, or I am going to send you to the death row myself. Sir, I'm a patrolman with General Affairs, sir. Sir! You fine, Officer Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir. So normally there's a guard at the evidence room? That's right, sir. Because evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now, the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall. Marshall? Yeah, you guys couldn't put that one together? Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. A suspicious person! What happened to your hand? Also, what is this guy doing? What happened then? After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red. I blacked out. What color? And then when I came to, I was here in the detention center. How long were you out? Days? Might I ask what happened to your hand? Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could to wrap it up, sir. A bandage on his hand. Just like Miss Sky, but on the other hand. Yet another similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. Actually, tell me about the victim. I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. If you have to label me as a perpetrator or victim, sir, then label me victim. But, I would, but you happen to be in detention, and alive and well at that. Ah, yes, well, that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger, or a total stranger, then I'd say he leans heavily on the total stranger side. So you didn't know him. Sir, I work in a tiny department devoid of light or other creature comforts. I don't know any detectives. So if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him? Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir. None. Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir. At least someone around here is more confused than I am. Right, the bandaged hand. About your hand, did that happen during the course of the crime? I'm gonna commit crimes. Well, you see, sir, don't you think you should just confess? But sir, but there is nothing I could do. Nothing you could do? Sir, to tell the truth, sir, when it happened, when the detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir. And the next thing I knew, I was unconscious. The next thing you knew, you were... Huh? Then, when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir, all alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared. What? Then when I looked down, I saw I was gushing blood from my hands, sir. Oh, the shock. Oh, the sorrow, sir. Can you imagine how I felt? The victim's body disappeared. I mean, yeah, because we found it in the parking lot. Phoenix? Phoenix, you really think... I think he still thinks there were 2 people murdered. That's some story. This is what they... Officer Meekins, this is for you. I'm scared of knives, sir. It's okay, I just want you to take a look. That's it, sir. Last night, sir. That's the one. I was an apple, sir, in my dream, sir, and I was being peeled. Second thought, you don't have to look at the knife. He's overreacting to the knife, but I guess he's been through a lot. Officer Means, can you take a look at this? Okay. He's a special kind of man to pass the buck to Edgeworth. Yeah, he doesn't want to look at the knives. Okay. I don't think he really has anything else to say to us. He's kind of stupid. Yeah, we've already done this. Okay, I think we can safely assume there is no blood there. Yeah, the phone doesn't work. Okay, do I have to have the bottle out in order to be able to see it? Oh, okay, now it counts it, I see. Just didn't spray it enough. This blood must be from when Lana... No, my sister isn't the murderer. But she did call you, didn't she? At the time of the crime? And her right hand is bandaged. There's nothing to do with taking sides. Lana's hand had blood on it. This keeps getting worse. She was wearing gloves that were not cut up at all. Like, no. Nothing new. I thought we could maybe use like the luminol spray on some of our existing evidence, but I don't think we can. Right? This means a marker right there in, and the sky don't tell me brings with you everywhere you go. Never know once or where something might go down. Yeah, why didn't you mention this before? We were on a crime scene for the whole day yesterday with this thing, and you were just like, nah, I think I won't bother. What if... in the guard post... No, it wasn't what I wanted to do... Oh, wait, I guess I'd have to be in the examine mode, don't I? Okay, examine... Oh. Someone got adventurous. We got a reaction. Clearly blood around the spines here. This room is pretty messy. Someone must have tripped over something and planted their head right on these spikes. It might be more painful than being murdered. I bet it was Meekins. He tripped over the door and ran into a cactus. I don't think there's any other blood in here, but at least that's something. Yeah, okay. God, this is a really big bottle of luminol, I guess. Where else would there be anything, though? Alright, what do we do next? What do you think? Police department, the evidence room. I mean, I feel like we must have to talk to somebody here. Chief Detective, go to the computer screen, detective field in the evidence room, tell no one outside the police department. No! I told that old lady at the restaurant everything! One of the detectives mumbling to himself, I know, the killer used dry ice. If you put it between the latch and the door, the room can be sealed shut. This is good, I'll win a writer's award for sure. Hmm. And cutting edge stuff. Okay. I don't... Well, you can't imagine there'd be a bunch of blood all over everything here, but... Might as well try, because it feels like we're not getting anywhere. Like, is there anywhere we haven't been? Nah, he doesn't care about this. I can't talk to the actual person I want to talk to, because she just won't fucking show up here. We've already gone through this. Oh. She doesn't care about this. Yeah, she doesn't care. What are we looking for here? There's like... Famous oil drum. No time like the present, I'll try and kick it over myself. That's okay, don't cry. Well, this guy has to be strong. Yeah, or she didn't kick it over, Phoenix. A ladder? That's a step ladder. What's the difference? Okay. Oh, I see quite a lot from up there. Probably means she wasn't lying when she said she saw Miss Sky stab him. Can we go up there? Where's the security guard anyway? Well, this is something I just heard, but apparently we went out to buy coffee from Miss Star. One's a force to be reckoned with. Seriously, I feel like I'm going insane. What are we supposed to do now? So I know we obviously need to, ideally, go and talk with, we need to go talk with the guy, but I don't know where he is. Because he hasn't been anywhere that we've gone. And there's nowhere we haven't gone. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. Huh. There's something new in here. Precision to war violated on the couch. You think he showed off more like that giant steel samurai? I've just always been like that. Let's write this down. Tell me what he's like as a kid. Back in elementary school, he won awards for all sorts of things. Speech contests, essays, playing the flute, golf tournaments. Yeah, but he always hated receiving awards. He made a smart remark like, I know the path I've walked. No one else needs to tell me. That's how he's always been. Kind of gets under your skin, doesn't it? Okay, so I don't think we're supposed to be here. But I think we've done everything we can do here. I'm certain that someone's committed a murder with you or around you. The muffler issue was never really resolved. Because the knife... They found the fabric... Okay, so hold on. They found... Hold on, my nose is really itchy right now. I'm trying to... Anyways. So we found out that the muffler that she was wearing, or like her red muffler, had been stuffed into the exhaust pipe. And the knife had been wrapped... Like, this second knife had been wrapped in it. So the muffler was in the muffler. Where's the knife? This knife. Any further inspection we can do of this thing, do you think? Doesn't look like it. I still... The handprints make me think, like, that must be something. But it doesn't look like it. Also, no one's ever remarked on the fact that this knife is broken, but whatever. Also, thank you for the hydration check, bits. And now we're just like wandering around back and forth forever because it doesn't seem like I don't know where we're supposed to go from here. Oh, wait a sec. I wonder if we can use this ID card to get in. Or maybe not. Maybe it doesn't do anything. Like, where am I supposed to go from here? Yeah. We haven't opened this. We need to get permission, but we can't find the guy to get permission from. We need to find Marshall, but where is Marshall is the question. He's not at the police department entrance. We've looked around here. There has been nothing. He's not at the law offices. He's not at the underground police or parking lot. Criminal affairs. There's nothing else here. Like, there's nowhere else really to go. We can go to the detention center, I guess. Oh, look at this. I just want to say, you're going to tell me how she has one just like her. Why would I... I know, sir, I know. I'm the only one without a girl, I'm the only one without a girl with matching badges. Nowhere, I'm alone, all alone. Is that so wrong? Life isn't all about high school sweethearts and youthful romance, sir. He's talking about those badges on her coat? I like to think there's a difference between my badge and a fashion accessory. Yeah, that didn't really work. Do you think you take a look at this? Hey, that's it, sir, that's it. That's what? My head was a blank till this very moment. But, sir, now I remember, sir. And you remember what happened? Correct, that card was the cause of it all. This ID card? Exactly, sir, that's exactly it. Nothing could be more exact. I fucking hate him. Better pry this one a little bit deeper. Okay, fine, if I have to. Tell me what it is you do remember? Well, so you might say I'm a lost little patrolman, a lost little lamb, if you will. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman who was in the evidence room. That's why you thought he looked suspicious. So I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card. Well, it sounds pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me. What? Sorry, I assure you I was as flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and I leapt at him. Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him. Do unto others before they do unto you. My own father's words, sir. Yeah, sure are a cop. What happened then? Well, my eyes, sir. Everything went white. When I awoke, I was here. Right. So, Officer Meekins, why was it they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma? Let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman, and the victim, whom he met at the scene of the crime, didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim. Oh. And if his body just disappeared from the evidence room, we don't even know if anyone actually died. That's it, sir. That's what I wanted to say. That is, I did say something along those lines. But you still ended up here. They told me that it had to be him, sir. On that day, at that time, Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said. But you don't remember the events clearly? No, but the videotape is quite clear. Huh? Videotape? The security camera. The crime, my crime, the crime I swore to stamp out. It's there, it's me, it's on tape. And you waited until now to tell us this? I'm sorry, really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge, I don't deserve it. No thanks, I have my own. Better go check out the crime scene. Okay, now we can go. Hey, Mr. Wright, look who's standing over at the Chief of Detective's desk. It's Police Chief Gant. And you're sure about this? Are you sure this is all, You know what it means if there's anything missing. Sir, I am sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked all of his drawers under his seat cushion, behind his computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine. Let's see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away, deal? Yes, sir. We'll scour the place again, sir. Chief of Detectives looks a little flustered. Ah, righto, my boy. How you been? Swim much? Yeah, he's a little, tangerine. But also, I like him. He's hot. Sue me. Oh, ho, ho, Chief Gant. Reporting for duty, sir. Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? I'm so sure he's a bad guy in some way. Is Worth gonna be okay? Oh, Worthy? You know, they're doing a little inquiry committee with him. Sounds like an inquisition. Yep, well, they've had no end of trouble with the boy since last year. You mean the incident on Gourd Lake? Doesn't look too good, or doesn't look good having a top prosecutor sit in the defendant's seat, does it? Yeah, it should not be this difficult. And you got someone else found guilty in that case, right, Righto? Von Karma, another top prosecutor. A legend he was, undefeated in his 40-year career. In court, you fixed it so he's caught for forging evidence. Wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence. In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of turmoil, you'd say. Yeah, he does kind of have weird Ganondorf energy. There's no way he's a good guy, but whatever. In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of turmoil. I mean, I've said plenty of things about Ganondorf too, so why they do just about anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what that inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy. What? Evidence room incident. It's downright odd, I tell you. The detective getting killed on their turf, too, I mean. They're being the prosecutors, I assume. Scientifically speaking, it's impossible. Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says. What evidence is this? Now, Wright, I can't give away all our secrets just like that. You're legally required to, but sure. And in this in particular, well, it's a little sensitive, and I can't talk about it. I wasn't expecting much anyway. You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff. Secrets, can't stand them. But you know, it's a full-time job just keeping the Chief of Detectives' trap shut. He was the one you were picking on earlier? Excuse me. Huh? You saw that? Whoops. I wonder what it was that he wanted the Chief of Detectives to do. Let's see if we can kind of discreetly ask him. Sorry you had to see that. What exactly does the Chief of Police want you to do? I see over there? That's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. They took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can. Nothing belonging to Detective Goodman is still there? Of course not. Except for this. What? You kept something? Sure, why not? It's not important. You didn't even finish writing it. Lost item report, but it's only half complete. A lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something? Date on is February 21st. Better make a note of it. Should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. Can you take a look at this? Yeah, I'm guessing he's not going to be helpful. With letter ID 5... No. was like 5'8", isn't it? That's probably why he didn't finish it, I guess, was that it was the wrong number. But that would probably... I bet somebody was impersonating him, originally tried to write up a lost item report, miswrote it, scratched it out, started a new one, submitted that one. And I bet we're gonna figure out what that lost item is pretty soon. Okay, we need to find where he is. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Well, I never thought the day would come when Wright asked me for help. I was wondering if we might investigate the evidence room. Now, Righto. Actually, I'm sorry, I don't need to investigate after all. Righto, please, do I look like a selfish man? Kinda. Heck, if anyone asks me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'll give him $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's content, knock yourself out. Just goes to show you never know until you ask. And for you, here, you can borrow this. Hey, this is the detective's ID card, isn't it? That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it. Yes, sir, it's an honor. Run along now and do your best now, or later, folks. Looks pretty cool on my lapel, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID. You seem happy. Yes, sir, because, sir, we need to get into the evidence room now, sir. I think this place is a bad influence on you. Evidence room's beyond that door, and we have the ID card from Chief Gant. We could use the other ID card probably, but just walk in, whatever. The card reader is turned off, you see. What is the security guard thinking? Howdy, partners. Well, what's in my Bambina sky is so gray. Officer Marshall! Why does it have to be him? What's that why does it have to be him look for? As you may have surmised, this here's my saloon. We're here to investigate the crime scene. Yeehaw! That card you got there on your chest. That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts. Yeehaw? No, yeehawn. Well, what you standing there for? Get along, little doggies. The crime scene's awaiting. Looks like the card reader's on again. While we're here, I was wondering if we could ask you a couple questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you hombres. You're busy then? Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us hombres. That smell. Reminds me of Texas. So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas? No, he's from Georgia. No, I just saw a special on television the other day. Is this from is this from a baby? I can't say it. Look, I'm trying. Yeah, Miss Starr. Oh, what's this? What? What's wrong? A filet steak lunch. I see, I see. I don't see. I wonder what it means. The steak lunch is given to Officer Marshall. Alright, Bambina, you win. Ask him. Finally, it seems like. He's willing to talk. Alright, the guard station. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of the security for the evidence room, right? You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job, and I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins of the detention centers told us. Ah, that poor little doggy. Poor guy. I keep getting his name wrong, calling him Meekly. He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this. But since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago, well, it might not look it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know? So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place? Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy. Note, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy. It was like a motorcycle or something. No need for people here anyhow. No need for people here anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place. You mean the security camera system? I don't take the machines much. Kinda like that stewed broccoli they sneak in next to your steak, you know? Miss Starr told us something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago. It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of the crime. It's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire. You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Starr, aren't you? That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I don't think... Does a bad game of poker smell? Can't let it go. That's all there is to it. What kind of case was it? We've heard the names so many times, but no one tells us what actually happened. There's some things you're better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, that case is officially dead as of 2 days ago. 2 days ago? The day of our case? Yeah, duh. That's right. The evidence transferals. Edgeworth was talking about the transferals too. I don't know what maybe 2 of the machines in here do. Only 2 of them? There must be a dozen. Like I said, Bambina, me and machines. I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steaks. The easiest ones to understand are these here security cameras. Those are the ones Officer Meekins mentioned. If nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours. And Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman, are they on one of those tapes? I reckon they might be. You're the security guard and you reckon? One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card. Thus, the card reader by the door. The card reader leaves the record of every ID card that passes through. Can we look at that? That looks like a glitch. Hey, I've seen that somewhere before. Sorry, I can't show you more than that. I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet. Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that number before. Somebody can prove the record aside to the stabbing. Transferal. Sorry, but can you explain what this whole transferal thing is about? We only keep evidence from solved cases in this room. They're kept here under the presiding detective's supervision for 2 years. So we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see? So what happens to the evidence after 2 years? It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault of the county sheriff's department. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February. I see. Transferal is like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed forever. Dead. Never to be reopened again. Never to be reinvestigated. And that happened to SL9 2 days ago. This would prove that we need to know more about the times. The sheriffs back in the Wild West didn't place much faith in evidence. About the only thing they trusted with their shooting hand. There's neither Wild nor West here. Aha, but that and this are two different things entirely. I guess so? I'm lost. Looks like we need some evidence getting over with this guy. Alright. Yeah, that wasn't the right one. Tell me about this knife. Or not. Kind of figured the knife would be something he would care about, but I guess not. Yeah. Okay, fine. Let's move into the evidence room. Let's go in there and let's check it out. This is the new evidence room. The old evidence room did not look like this. Well, I guess it's from solved cases. Evidence room sector 3. It's quiet. The investigation must be over here. This is the evidence room. It's kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. It feels more like a morgue. Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me. Yeah, okay. Alright, hi, Gumshoe. Hi, Dick. Whoa. Sorry, I thought you were. Did she slap him? I wouldn't recommend going around slapping ghosts on the smacking ghosts on the head, pal. Was it true what I heard? Do I look like myself in that? Yeah. Yeah, it's true. So Chief of Police can't loan anyone $50? Even me? Oh, so that's what you're talking about. I love Gumshoe. Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today? Boss for a day. But guess what? You got permission from the chief. So now you're boss for a day. Gee, thanks. First of all, you won't have this. Let me just look at that. Excuse me, I'm dying. Oh, okay. So it's like not actually very helpful at all. Let me just examine the area first. Look at this big pile of junk in the corner. It looks like a car door. A pair of handcuffs attached to the frame. Maybe the guy they caught was some sort of escape artist and got away. It's one of those human profiles for range testing. Shot square in the forehead. Better him than us. Stuff with evidence, stuff with dreams. Not sure about the dreams. Won't open. Hey, pal, our security is high-tech around here. Bulky equipment gathering dust. Sorry-looking fishing pole. My personal pole. Never did get around to using it. I've seen that somewhere before. Right, pal, that's the metal detector, the one that helped, or that led to solving that case out on Gourd Lake, remember? Right, wow, it feels like that was ages ago. And I don't think I've seen this one before. Oh, that's a bug sweeper. Sure will come in handy in solving some case sooner or later. That cheap-looking box? You can't judge a person or a machine by their cover, you gotta look at their heart. What we just came through, don't need an ID card to get out. I wonder what happened if we cut the power while we were inside. Let's hope you remember what's reading here. Yeah, so you don't need an ID card to get out, which actually does seem like... Oh, something's sticking out of here. Looks like a shirt. Must be evidence for a case. I wonder if Detective Gumshoe put it in. There you go, pal. Making me out to be some kind of slob. I'm not responsible for the evidence here. That said, I bet that evidence locker was opened recently. How did you know? If you leave things like that hanging out, the evidence tends to get dirty or ripped. Guard checks on that kind of stuff and notifies the detective responsible. Many times I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot too. But he doesn't tuck in his shirt under that trench coat either. If you're gonna talk behind someone's back, don't do it right in front of him, pal. Yeah, don't be. Why are you being mean to him? You're just a little guy. You ain't doing anything wrong. Oh. Blood? It's a little warm, but there's definitely a handprint here. I'm gonna try to wipe it off. It's alright, what if there are other bloodstains left in my... Yeah, we'll do some luminol. All this paint. What's the solid paint doing here? Yeah, this is from the Dancing Blue Badger. True art has always been a war against depression. True art? I noticed there's blue and yellow paint here. Perhaps we're witnessing the birthplace of the Blue Badger? Yeah, I saw the streaks in the handprint on it. Well, you might say this is my studio. Here in the evidence room? Good God, dude. Someone left a glove here, but only one. Detective Gumshoe, maybe? There you go, pal. Making us to be some kind of absent-minded detective. That's evidence from the case, you know? An SL9 does have a tag on it. Extremely thin rubber glove. Were they trying to recreate the conditions of SL9 so they could prove that they got it right? And look, this one's open, and the red light indicator is above the door is lit. That locker is coated with Detective Goodman's fingerprint. Goodman's locker. You sure it's okay to leave it open like that? It'd be hard to get it open again if we closed it. It's empty. They must have taken the contents elsewhere. Someone must have broken something big to make all those pieces. Detective Gumshoe, perhaps? There you go, making out to be some kind of hooligan. It's apparently from the case. Yeah, SL9. Another piece of SL9. What shape these pieces were in before it was broken? You wanna try and put it back together? Good luck, pal. It's no job for amateurs. Why I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up. That's why I always carry around a tube of glue. Well, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in place. Why do none of these look like the right thing? Oh, you can rotate them. Okay, I'm stupid. I think SL9 just means, like, that's the naming convention that they have for the cases, so I'm assuming that it's not, like, super directly connected, but I mean, I don't know. Nope, that was the wrong thing to do. I meant to press. That's not gonna work. This, though. This is the right one. Nope, that wasn't... oh, that rotates that piece. Okay, that is the right one. That's not gonna be right. Is it? No, it's this. And this piece... we're missing a piece from it, though. Huh? Well, I guess we did it, but there's some pieces missing. Yeah, I got that far in 2 minutes myself. The problem is finishing it. Were some pieces stolen? I bet they were missing to begin with. Still, it doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar. I don't understand how it got broken. Put together these pieces and makes a jar. 2 things that bother me. 1, why are some pieces missing? 2, doesn't seem a little unstable. I bet it was part of some sort of a bigger sculpture or something, not actually a jar. And probably not supposed to be stood up that way. I think they've got it upside down, to be honest. Anything else to investigate that we haven't already? No? Okay, let's take out the luminol. I mean, yeah, obviously that was gonna be... I knew it. This is someone's right handprint. What? What's the matter, detective? This locker, it's mine. Yours? Please, you have to help me. When they come to take me away, promise you'll testify that I wouldn't harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals? This is an important clue. I'll jot it down on the floor plans. Counting on you guys. Believe me, you can't trust the police. What? You're a detective. Oh. I bet Meekins got bashed with the pottery. One massive pool of blood. Never seen anything like it. I'm not a professional. What's your opinion, detective? Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien. Here's something really happened in front of this locker. I'll make a note of it. If you don't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked. I wanted your opinion. I just wanted it to be a better opinion. I don't think there's anything else here. I don't know if there's any other blood in here. Oh, thank you for the follow, bird. What is that? Barn Rain. Welcome in. I hope you're having a good day. We are currently trying to solve so many murders. There's so much murder happening here. At least one, but they think there's 2. And I think we're also solving one from 2 years ago that was solved. Boss for a day. So, Detective Gumshoe, your boss for the day. That's right, it's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department. But if you're boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings? They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial. In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation again. I'm adamant, though. I'm going to take control and put this case to rest. In my own evidence locker, pal. You have a locker in here too, Detective Gumshoe? Of course, I am a detective after all. They gave me a locker that only I can open, pal. Only you can open. Or Gumshoe. So we're with the inquiry committee right now, right? Trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today. Let's see, this is what you call fate. Mr. Edwards just can't get away from that case. The case? Yeah, the case. The SL9 incident, of course. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth. Maybe we can get him to tell about that. The place is more high-tech than you might think, so was Edgeworth the prosecutor on that? Was that his first case? Every locker is fixed, so only one detective can open it. Using their ID card. Wait. Thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. I'm on my 3rd card since entering the force already. Sounds like a lot. Yeah, but I can't even lose my own right... Even I can't lose my own right hand. Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint. Exactly, pal. The lock for each locker is coded with a fingerprint. So the only locker we can open is our own. Funny, they look like normal lockers. Here's the latest model. There's a trick to the handles, see? The handles. On the other side of the handle is a sensor, and if the wrong person touches it, you get a shock. If that's what happened, my hand would be looking black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people in the force who don't know about the fingerprint locks. Only the assigned detective's fingerprints can unlock it. Indicator lamp lights up when it's open. Alright, let's see if we can push you about SL9. Detective Goodman's note and that switchblade knife. That Edgeworth was the most surprised of anyone. Was the SL9 connection? That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, 2 years ago. It was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared. Why would evidence from that case turn up now? I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe some loose ends left on that case. Okay, can we talk about it now? Yes. That was a bloody, violent case. Violent. So it was a murder. Serial killing. Serial killing. You don't want to get involved in this after all. But the killer made a mistake and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him. And this was 2 years ago? That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight, and started the rumor mill. Rumors? About forged evidence? It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transfer the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is. Huh? What do you mean? Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, see? So that switchblade knife. The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself? Oh, okay. We've already done this. Allow me to say one thing speaking as a detective. I see a piece of evidence I know nothing about nothing. Okay. You can open it, they'll give you 50 cents. Note, the police department lacks faith in its lock system. After all, Detective Goodman was stabbed here after opening his locker. But at the same time, he was found dead over at the prosecutor's office. Does he have a twin? It's just gonna be that he has a twin, right? Anything else he might care about? Oh yeah. This is my crowning achievement, my masterpiece, you might say. But art is always misunderstood, pal. Art? He was dancing proudly on the day of the awards ceremony, but there were a lot of people coming and going after the ceremony, so they took the Blue Badger away for a while. Really? Why? Well, they said it was shameful or something like that. Shameful! I toiled night and day! I sympathize with Detective Gumshoe, but I can see why they moved it. Hey, that's it. That's the King of Prosecutors Award that Mr. Edgeworth got the other day. Were you at the award ceremony, Detective Gumshoe? Of course, pal. I got an award for diligence myself. Congratulations. I was wondering, why is the award a shield? Why is it broken? I think we've asked about this before. Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later. He's forgotten. Right, yes, we did. Nope. Oh yeah, we never actually, rotated this thing, did we? Who else has won this? Check it out. There's a metal plate here. Looks like all the names of the previous recipients are engraved. One guy's listed a bunch. Von Karma. Guessing he must be a foreigner? Yeah, that's probably it. Well, wherever he's from, he must have been an amazing prosecutor. I'd like to meet with Mr. Von Karma sometime. When she says it, his name does kind of have a ring to it. I don't know if there's really anything else to remark upon of this. Yeah, I think it's just this. Mr. Edgeworth car, stabbed with Mr. Edgeworth's knife, huh? What would drive Chief Prosecutor Sky to do such a thing? Wait, I didn't mean... Sure, of course someone else really did it. Someone else who must have... Someone must have a grudge against Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, I think that's everything we can get out of you right now, but we're gonna look in your evidence locker now. Or are we not allowed to... He opened it for us before. Oh, okay. I guess he'll open it, but we can't actually look inside. Objection! Hi, Kiefer. How are you doing? Let's see. Victim, Detective Goodman's ID card. These days, everything's cards and secret numbers. I can never relax. Only because you always lose yours. I always forget my secret number, too. Scary, huh? My face should be ID enough. What's the world coming to? Detective Gumshoe, rebel against the system. I don't think he can tell us anything else right now, and I think we've examined this place pretty thoroughly. I think we're gonna move on to the next, or back to the guard station, see if he's got anything to tell us. Sure, yeah. He wants some evidence, but I don't really know what counts. Oh wait, do we need to show him the ID? Oh, we did. I'm stupid. See, this is the victim's ID card. Ah, the one that's found on the ground in the parking lot? Number on this is 5842189. I should have figured that out earlier. That's dumb of me. Officer Marshall, show us that ID card record again. 5842189. Fourth number is the perfect match. He was at 514 right before the stabbing. What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world. When the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. And what did he say? I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card, so you know what? So you asked him, that's the thing, he pointed a knife at me. If he had his ID card then, why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekins? Alright, compadre, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record. I've got an idea. Maybe I should show this to other people with IDs here. I mean, Gumshoe isn't going to be very useful with it, because he can't even remember his own fucking number, but... Oh, okay. Take a look at this. ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing. I heard the rumor, so it's good indicator. Whoa. What is it? That second number. It's not your ID detective number, is it? Mr. Edgeworth. What? Second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth. How do you remember that? What? Why would Edgeworth have come to the evidence room? And you can tell us about that? No. I did not think he was gonna have anything useful to say, because he literally was just like, yeah, I can't even remember my own number, but he remembers Edgeworth's? Oh my god, he's got such a crush. Miles Edgeworth, Bruce Goodman. We need to figure out who these people were. Because the thing is, I said or like the last stream, I'm pretty sure what's gonna end up happening is that we're gonna have to pin this crime on Edgeworth and then turn around and defend Edgeworth from our accusations. And if he got there at 4:40, they said it's a half-an-hour drive from there to the prosecutor's office. That would allow him to get from here to the prosecutor's office in time for that murder, but it wouldn't explain this. 4989596. Who might that be? I wonder if you might be that person, actually. Oh, okay, you're not gonna tell us if you are. You know what, I think we've gotten what we need out of you. Let's see if we can't talk to somebody else in... Oh yeah, this guy didn't he say he... Oh, police chief isn't here anymore. That's unfortunate, because he said he knows everyone who's in there, or who goes... he knows everyone's ID numbers. Although I don't know if he'd be helpful. Can you take a look at this? Oh, okay. Could you not remember your own fucking ID number, you clown? You. Is one of these your old number? Nope. Or if it is, she's not telling us. Where... think you're who we need to talk to. Here, who should we talk to now? What do you think? We were just at the evidence room, though. And we presented him with all the evidence that we had. Oh, can you show us the security camera footage? You sure have a lot of monitors. There's 8 cameras in the evidence room in all, 1 for each section. Each monitor shows the section where this crime took place. Why do cattle sit before the rain comes? It's not for man to know, unless you're the security guard responsible. Oh, so he's just not going to show us? Party. Leather jacket, leather pants, those are chaps. That's a poncho up there. Poncho? Sure looks cool, but the name is a little silly. Cactus shirt is prickly, must be real. Best keep your distance from Billy there, you're liable to get hurt. Billy? Cactus has a name? Billy, you're wearing a cowboy hat on your hand. Remember I had Cowskin 10-gallon hat. I just picked that up, but Billy took a fancy to it. It got stuck on the spines and he couldn't get it off. I wonder if he'll react to the luminol. Like, not him literally, but like, if he'll react to the... Can we not investigate that now that he's in here? Whatever. What about the lasso? Any information on that? On the floor is a lasso. I'll set up the traps on it. This is what we have to do with this here lasso. What? There's a bellowing moo, pal, moo. Detective Gumshoe, I presume. Doesn't really have much to examine in here, I guess. The swing door. The swing door, just like Wild West swing door. Ah, sorry partner, but we're closed for the day. Huh? Y'all get along home now. I think Officer Marshall really wanted to be a Wild West bartender. I always wanted to say that. Evidence rooms beyond that door. Turn on the card reader. Go have yourself a ball, partners. I have the ID card, a real ID card. Yeah, we've already gone in there though, and it didn't seem like much was happening. And we've talked with you about everything. Okay, fine. Oh, shit. Anyone else? Yeah, he knows it was Edgeworth. Yeah, we've already been over this. But what else is there to talk about? When it was winter, I was 16. She's the only one who ever got to talk, or got me to talk about what happened. 16 is how old I am now. I wonder what happened. I wonder if Detective Goodman wore a trench in high school. Let me just, sorry. Photo Miss Star took. Anything you can tell us about it? And Miss Star is quite the lady. Okay. That's probably what we need. Nope. Anything else about Miss Star that you can tell us? Oh, why don't you just be helpful? Like... Like, we should be able to ask you about that, but apparently we can't. So I guess, I don't know, let's go talk to... Let's go talk to Miss Star, see if she's got something to say about that. you think about this? SLI incident is written on that knife. And on that note, Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know. We've already been over this. The knife was evidence from that case, the murder weapon. It was due for transfer the very day he was killed. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over, not yet. Yes, we want to be told more about SL9, but you've told us I think all you're going to tell us. We've already investigated everything here, I think. Oh. Gonna try and climb the fence? Okay, don't cry. Maybe there's a launch in the Olympics soon. Like, is there some evidence that we aren't... What if we... talk to this useless sack? Because he didn't have anything for this. There's a bunch of people I would like to talk to who I can't talk to. My date was staying at the prosecutor's office. Detective Goodman's body was found in the trunk. This means I'm a free man, innocent. If this is a dream, sir, hope I never wake up. If this is a dream, you better wake up right now. That didn't help at all. Like, is there anything he cares about? Like, is there something that we're missing? Let me examine the area. Let me already talk to you? Yeah, okay, nothing. Yeah, we've already seen this one. There's been nothing with blood on it. Like, what else could there be? Not that. Like, you're not willing to tell us about anything. You're not willing to be helpful. You're useless. Anything interesting about the glove? Or tag, it's confusing. It's so confusing. Okay. Oh, that's just like picking up on that from the other side. I mean, it clearly looks like there's blood on it. Hey look, they're hard to make out, but there's some dark red stains. Looks like blood. Do you think Detective Goodman's blood somehow got on someone who was stabbed? Not likely. The blood looks like it's been here for months, maybe longer. There was evidence in SL9, might have been when the blood got on it. Huh? This thing doesn't have a bottom. That's weird. Wonder which side is up. What's the purpose of a bottomless jar? At least it doesn't collect dust. This handle's also broken. There's a few missing pieces from it. I think that's about it. What else is there? That's not what I wanted to do! I can't do anything with that, I guess. We can't acknowledge that 77777777 is a bit suspicious. Oh, wait. Either he lost it and he was trying to replace it but couldn't remember his number without having the card there, or this person accidentally wrote down a 9 because they wrote 4, 9, something. Like they used to first number 5 and then they wrote 9 instead of 8 and then scratched it out and wrote a new one with 8 or something. I don't know. I think he probably just forgot his number when he didn't have the thing there. I think he's pretty dumb. Hey, seriously, where do we go from here? What do we do? Doesn't seem to care about anything we have. It seems like there might still be something to investigate here, but I don't know what. Like, is there anything else that needs to be sprayed with luminol, maybe? Oh. We sprayed this locker! We sprayed the whole thing! Why did... Okay, well I guess not. Why am I getting a reaction here? No reason for this murderer, or for the murderer to touch the spot if he fled out the door. This just might be something significant. Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal. You want this? It's called luminol testing fluid. Where'd you get your hands on that? Huh? I'd like to get some too. Oh, 50 bucks from the chief. Where do you get this, Emma? I was by mail order. You better jot this down in the floor plans. Look at the time. Oh. Edgeworth and Creek Committee should be letting out soon. I give them my report for the day. Might help, you know. Report? You mean the note written on the back of the flyer? One says nothing but no problems. Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure you can use a report like this. I believe in him. He's enemies when you got friends like Detective Gumshoe. I'm off, pal. Later. Like, he's like the only one who can't read our face and tell that we're clearly not interested in what he's doing. Should probably see what Edgeworth has to say too. Yeah, fucking finally, we're moving on. Apparently I just didn't spray on that one spot that I thought I had. I don't think he's in here. Yeah, he'll be back at his office, I'm pretty sure. What are you doing here? Oh, guess my apologies. Oh, it's you. We met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. Excuse me. I'm dying a little bit. Is Edgeworth here? There, standing by the window, a teacup in his hand. Right. He has the hotel bring him tea service? Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry? I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Oh, yes, he brought me the latest information, it seems. Really? Was it helpful? Apparently a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. The real info is on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth, I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him. Okay, let's talk with you about what you have already got. Inquiry Committee. How'd the Inquiry Committee go? I should decide not to treat this as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation. Concealing evidence? Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again. Again, I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago. Okay for the trial tomorrow? I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney, however, something happened? They gave control of the investigation over to the police department. Police department? Yes, any further investigation for this case will be directed by the chief of police, Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results. Let's see. Why, I ask you, why? All along, I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of, but still. Wow, I've never seen him in this set of swords. Okay, first of all... Oh, right, I better check this now. As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID tags? Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that's true. Why, Mr. Edgeworth? Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less. Chief of Police. He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed. Chief has never wanted to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. Can I ask what kind of case it was? I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. I'm curious about this other case. I better make a note of it. Stubborn as always. I told you this has nothing to do with the current case. This is the most evidence we've ever had at one time. Right, please. I'm the prosecutor on this case. You don't expect me to sit here and discuss the case over a cup of tea. I'm just checking and seeing anything and everything at this point. Oh, shit, I figured I'd be telling you this sooner rather than later. He was talking about his father's murder in that elevator. Okay, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. Let me just ask him again, because I thought that was going to be another spam response. I know you. You've probably got to hold in some information already, right? It all has to do with that case you were on, the SL9 incident. And some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in. You were the man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. If you're talking about that. His father's murder in that elevator. Alright, tell me about it. Tell me the truth. Alright. I actually have to run to the bathroom really quickly. I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna run the ad early as well so we can get a little bit more unbroken ad time going forward. So I'll be back in a minute or so. Sorry for the delay. Hold on. Alright, let's move on to the allegations of forgery. The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was Deputy Chief of Police at the time, Damon Gant. My killed Coop was involved in the case 2 years ago too then. He was a top officer and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous. Oh, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth? What I want to know is why I was the chief, or deputy chief of police on the investigation. In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict and the killer was executed. Wait, you didn't? Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code, and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something. My sister? What? If you were still studying forensic science. Huh? Yeah, of course. Why, just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this. Luminol testing fluid, Well then, you might have a use for this. Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints. It's been chemically treated for better adhesion. For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know. I have no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Edgeworth, I'm really... No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved. Thanks. How about giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well? Let's get going. One last investigation. I do remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere. Okay. Can I use this? On, like, anything else? Like, I can't... I want to be allowed to use this to check the fingerprints on all the... whatever. Let me just... Oh, I can't even... Oh, it's not even like the luminol where I can, like, spray everything. That's lame. Fine. There were no suspicious handprints down here, right? Nothing that we wanted to check out anyways. Yeah, and we know that she was wearing a glove, apparently, at the time of the murder, so... Oh, he's not here anymore. Investigation turned up a suspicious handprint. Here, and there's blood on the detective's evidence locker. Secret weapon we just borrowed. Alright, let's get started. First, choose a finger. Finger? Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. Choose the finger that will leave, or will have left behind the clearest imprint. I can't tell the difference. Quit procrastinating, choose a finger. I mean, the thumb is the one that's the most intact. Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. Okay, that sparkle in our eye. First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around, huh? Yeah, with this. See? Ah. Looks like that did the trick. The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is all spread, just blow away the excess. You did it, you found one, but it looks like a fingerprint. Actually, I guess it doesn't. Someone's wearing gloves. Good luck. How very dare you come in here. I am a good Presbyterian woman, Tenchi. I would never be homosexual. Anyways, how's my favorite pole doing? Yes, smearing some white stuff. Oh no, this is the way it goes sometimes in scientific investigations, but it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for other prints? Other prints? Looking at the locker door again closely. There's a little smudge here. Grease stain. Nice, nice. What kind of stuff are you trying to wrap up, Tenchi? Sorry, my back's hurting. See if we can find a clear print. I mean, yeah, this little grease stain. Oh. That is a fingerprint, huh? There we go. Print so clear it's dazzling. Dazzling? Anyways, print took a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away. So we're not done yet? This is quite a process. No point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right? I guess she's right. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth. And point out the person you think left these fingerprints. How am I supposed to know who it was? I can make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. Whose prints are we most likely to find on this locker? Okay, so this is like a tutorial on the fingerprinting. Nice. So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong? You gave me a so what look. I guess it's probably because I'm thinking so what. So we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. Gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. Hi, Alice. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. We are solving murder and being very bad at it. I've been really dropping the ball in this one. One other handprint in this room. Let's check it out. Yes, huh? We found a handprint on this, right? Let's try using this. I'll warn you about first. What? The area with the blood was wiped away, right? We only ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too. That means no prints. Would you say your probability of... Don't ask me. Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. Oh. I don't think there's anywhere we can do this, yeah. That's not good. Aww. It's always fun to finish a game you really enjoy, but also it's a little bit sad when it's over. I mean... Oh, wait. Guess there's nowhere here that we can investigate. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. From the scarf muffler and stuck into the car muffler. No crime scene tape. Yeah, today, I guess it was my first time seeing that. It's always my dream to push the crowd and just step over the tape. It's a little daunting. Yeah, sometimes it happens. We all make choices. It's a little daunting to encounter against us. I think you're overreacting a little. Blue and yellow paint? All I need to paint a portrait of you. I am wearing a red necktie, you know. Don't say that. We didn't see any other handprints over there, did we? I mean... Okay, no, clearly we're supposed to do this here, but it doesn't seem like it's working. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I was pressing enter that whole time, and it just wasn't doing anything. That's not really much. Maybe a shot. Kind of result won't do any good for matching prints. It doesn't look like we got a clearer print. Okay, so I guess we were supposed to, like, imagine where those prints were gonna be. The thumb isn't there. Oh, that's the thumb. I think this is the one we already looked at, isn't it? Oh, never mind. This isn't the one we looked at before. How much more do I need to see of this, do you think? There we go. Oh, nice. That definitely looks like Gantz. But I don't... Oh, no, that's Marshall's. I thought it might be rotated a bit, but no, that's his. There's no way it isn't, right? Excuse me. These fingerprints, whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. Huh? Officer Jake Marshall. Gotta be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma, this is decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. The luminol reaction, the blood and the fingerprints from the same place. Yeah, the fingerprint stuff is like... I think it's not that... Yeah, it's not as unique as he thought it was, but it is still like a very... It's very rare to have two people with the same fingerprints, especially like within the same area where it might overlap. On a white blood stain. I heard Officer Marshall... With our investigation is finally turning up some results. What you call decisive evidence. I don't believe it. Excuse me. Oh my god. We've been doing this for 2 hours now, and we've just now finally, like, finished the investigation. We're never finishing this fucking trial. Save your progress up to this point? Yes. This is day 3 of the trial, so we can't really... I mean, it can't last that much longer, presumably. It has to end on the 3rd day. What do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. Hope I didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. How'd it go? As Mr. Wright suspects, the police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. Plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That is what I mean, Emma. Yeah, okay, so what's happened is basically... They believe there were 2 murders. There was one in the police evidence room, one in the prosecutor's parking lot. Both of the people killed, both of them, are the same guy. So, it's just one murder, but it seemed to happen... I don't know what's happening anymore. But Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Skye, we found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. It belonged to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Bloodstained fingerprints, to be exact. Yeah, Emma's the Maya of science. They could just be twins, but we haven't... There's been no indication that he has a twin yet. That's the trump card I have in my sleeve today. Are we allowed to move forward there? You understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Skye? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. February 24th, 10 a.m. Surprising, it would be a twist, but I feel like it'd be... I think it'd go too far, because there's been nothing to set that up. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office, yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. That's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually re-emerged in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, this is one messed up trial. One of my duties as a prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Not to set Mr. Edgeworth apart, he sounds so on top of things. You know, he doesn't know what's going on himself. That's supposed to be admirable? Alright, let's see how badly we can fuck this up. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. Suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Yeah, this isn't Maya, this is Emma. He's getting wild from the get-go. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir, I am Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir. So glad he's not my defense, or my defendant. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You've got to believe me, sir. Yeah, we hate this guy, don't worry. Actually, sir, what you would call a part of the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults cannot possibly understand. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, sir. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I'm part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. I can fault him for everything. Crime reports, sir. More bullets, sir. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and I rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. After that, I passed out. Until another officer smacked me awake. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you? Do unto others before they do unto you. I wish I knew. I hate this character. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir. You knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. Maybe I knocked him upside the head too hard. What I need here is more info to work with. The crime reports, sir. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. Why? You work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. In charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Oh, that's terrifying. Yeah. Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot designed by the Chief of Detectives, sir. I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. It was my sole mission for the day, sir. Bitch, you clearly failed. I see. It sounds like a very important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around. I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. Yeah, no kidding. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right here, right around my neck. So then your ID number should be listed on here, right? There it is. I found it. This is the one right here. Will you please read the number out loud? Yes, sir. It's 4989596. That's my number, sir. But the number 4989596 is shown as being used twice. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to get him, or go get him after everything settled down. I see, so it was during that second time when... Yeah, the one that looks like a glitch, that seems like probably important. Yes, sir, it was when I spotted the man on the security system. I didn't have it at 420. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. Yeah. Let's see. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir. A knife! Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then? Why weren't we allowed to see the security camera footage? Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand. Maybe if you just keep it cool, your hand wouldn't be... When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. Fought for my life, then I did it. What exactly do you mean when you said you did it? I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife? I spun around and performed a disarming maneuver. Made sure to close my eyes like a man. He must have been desperate. The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched with a sea of my blood. And then the next thing I knew... Oh, that white... I wonder if we know someone who has a coat that was drenched in blood. And the next thing I knew, he punched me right in my face, sir. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. Who smacked you awake? What time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. Wouldn't you look at a clock when you woke up? According to the report, the officer that woke you up, or woke up the witness, was about 5:30. And you right in the head, too. Woke up crying tears of pain. That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. When it came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Your mission? Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger. Return to the entrance before things got out of hand. And we can all rest easy now. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins, with regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir. Oh, thank God. Chief delivered it. What is that, a videotape? Yes, sir, it's absolutely right, sir. Videotape, sir. Contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room. I don't know who decided that he should have that blaring horn every time he talks. That person needs to be arrested. Objection! What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told it had been mistakenly erased. Quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. What a sub. Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. Well, let's have a look. Show us the evidence of you, or the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me. Video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? Yeah, a real murder. Thank you for the jacket redeem, Alice. This is horrifying. Like found footage. Oh, Jesus. This is also the first, like, animated bit we've seen in this. Like, full motion animation. Where'd that baton come from? Yeah, so much for a disarming maneuver. It was a glove that fell out of the locker. Yeah, so it's 5:15 right now on this. Also, there's supposed to be 8 security cameras in this room. That locker had been opened while the camera wasn't looking, wasn't it? We're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that wiggling piece of plywood? Sir, that was the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Yes, well anyway, this tape seems to prove the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room, and that clearly... Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that alright with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir, as you wish, sir. His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint and activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing, that would mean the victim at the crime scene would have been the Detective Goodman. Very well, defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. Where we have to start. You've never met him before, though. You don't know that for sure, do you? You've never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as having seen or not seen it. Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it. Why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or... Meekins! Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now, please be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir. You claim the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you were positive it was him. Then you opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do so. Not these lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir, I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to the registered fingerprint, sir. That's not true. We know that from... what's-his-face. I wonder what kind of methods he's tried. If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints, then he must be the person it was assigned to. Unless there was also someone else's fingerprint assigned to it, which is possible. Exactly my point, sir. And this, too. The locker you opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. Has anyone else ever had that locker in the past? How do you know that? I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir. People in the know? The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. Why would they know whose locker is who? He also listens to my romantic troubles, sir. For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video, the man's face. Sir, if I may say something, sir, please do. After all, you're the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock, and it was his hand that tried to thrust the knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir. Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it? Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Problem with the security problem? Or security video? Yeah. Regarding the video contained in this tape, there's one thing in particular that seems strange. Strange? Contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction? Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. He wants the evidence to be shitty, because he wants to prove that the police department fucked up, not him. Very well, proposal is accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. We'll now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction. Every time I've tried to do that, you can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. How's this guy ever become a police officer? That flag getting away is really funny. The thing that's strange about this video, it's gotta be this. Yes, it is strange. Something certainly seems unnatural about that. What could it mean? Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Wright, but you seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise. The point? What you were looking for is one thing only. Something that indicates it may or may not be Detective Goodman. Yeah, he opened another locker. I almost walked right into the defense's trap. Please, I'm under arrest. I'm fucking mad. I mean, the time obviously does. Oh, wait. No, what? That wasn't what I meant to press. I hate this. I thought that was the pause button. It's the light on the thing. I didn't notice that before, but the light on the locker is already open. The thing that's strange about the video, it's gotta be this. Officer Meekins. Sir, do you mean me, sir? As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. Why is nothing in color, ever? When you grab the handle, the sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, the light turns on, lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something's seriously wrong with this picture. I hate this music. Can we please stop listening to this music? I'm begging. Alexa, play Begging by Mainskin. Is it Monskin? I don't know how to pronounce that one, actually. Are we just gonna watch the whole thing again? When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, rewind to a little earlier. Oh my god. Rewind faster. Come on. Yeah, the Italian Eurovision man. Begging. Also, the fact that he just kind of disappears from the frame, like, where did he go? Here, notice the light? What's this? It's already lit. Here's a short now. So, Måneskin? Locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Okay, gotcha. Order. Order! What's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. The locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know, it must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Yeah, but the guy running it is also bad at it. Oh, well, just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes, why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yeah, so you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the system sensor? Yeah, the glove that fell out. Something jam the sensor? Say, there's something else that seems out of place in this video. I thought so too, there's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage. Inspect the video once more. Locker wasn't locked. Oh my god. Are we looking for the glove that fell out? Please watch closely. This is a continuation of the part I showed you earlier. Let me live. Alexa, play I Just Want to Live by Good Charlotte. This? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are open. I often fall out of We can't be sure that the item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers when the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? Oh my god! Please fast forward this. Anything we can do. Make this faster. I'm begging. I don't want to watch this a million times. White thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. The door choking. The object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene, there just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulator, you don't mean... I think I finally got this figured out. It's the rubber glove. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator stuck in the locker door? We literally all saw it. Found the student of the locker. A thin rubber glove. Yeah, also, it doesn't have to, even if it doesn't have to necessarily block the sensor. It could just block the lock itself, but whatever. Couldn't be sure that was in the victim's locker. You saw it fall out of the victim's locker in the video! There's a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even if I could have opened that locker. Is that not so, Officer Meekins? Sir, it would appear so, sir. God, can you just hang yourself with that and get done? I'm so tired of this character. I want Meekins gone. Order, order, order! Like, choke yourself out with it, and let's just move on. So we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Also, there's no evidence that he stabbed him! Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility, nothing more. That's all we need to do. It's the defense... The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. Only one person was left on the ground. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir, me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? Very well, begin your testimony. I hate him. I hate him so much. Mystery Man, brackets 2. There's one other thing that proves that the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of that crime, the detective had used his ID card. Yeah, I have his ID card. I could use it right now. An ID card record I can see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. So do I. ID use of 514 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, hmm? Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transfer. Why are there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Is the serial killer who was found in that one, was that also a cop? Was that what the deal was there? Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There are only a few cases up for transfer there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see now. Let's move on to the cross-examination. That is actually a good way to explain that. Because I was kind of wondering, like, if this is supposed to be a big transfer. I mean, to be fair, it's only the ones within the last 2 years. There's one other thing that proves it was Detective Goodman, sir. Enter it, not with his ID card. The other card hanging from the neck? Yeah. Yes, sir. This card right next to my cuffs, sir. Keep it here so I won't ever forget it. What if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? The remaining time is my ID card that gets stuck. Maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer only has one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed with your testimony. When ID card is used, there's a record of it. You said you didn't have it. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir. He didn't show me any ID cards, sir. Don't you think that's odd? Yeah, the victim didn't. This was someone else. If he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he's just panicked. Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. What do you think? I'm confused. The problem with ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's like Edgeworth to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard. Show him what we've got. Am I thinking too hard about it? There's a guest ID card, is that? Oh. Let it be noted that this is the record the witness is referring to. Let me see. Yes, that would be it. Detective Goodman. What's the matter? According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. So it is, Your Honor. Not that prosecutor again. Hey, maybe he's behind all this. Mommy, is that man in blue a murderer? Shh, don't stare at him. You got the wrong color, kid. It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions, or their consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination. Poor Mr. Edgeworth, why is it so difficult? I hate having to do this, but I feel like... I think we have to use the ID card as the evidence actually here, right? Because the ID card, we found this at the prosecutor's office. Oh yeah, that'll be the... Okay. Yes. There we go. Wait one moment, Mr. Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The one that we're actually trying in this case. I don't really know why we keep on... We're getting distracted a bit. Underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. A lost item report? It's only half completed, but it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right? Can't say for sure, but there's a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order. Order! So now what does all this mean? Well, I mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Like, is he not aware of anybody else in that office? Like, surely he could have pointed him out. Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Yeah. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo. Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are 2 grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes? What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera doesn't show the instant of the murder. That is... well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. Well, well. It seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means the murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime, which means that it did happen in the prosecution's office. The real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. Okay, all that proves is that the evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment he used the trustworthy witness, my ass. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? Oh, it's not Butts. It's, Angel Star. And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. That's right, you have to do something else with Lana. What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Object. Objection! One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. No, I'm objecting to the fact they said it's not relevant. I almost walked into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. No, it's proven another thing also. Whoever it was opened that door over there, and we know who opened that door over there. It was the fucking cowboy, Marshall. Can we stop showing this video, please? Look! However, it cannot be said that this is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. I'm so mad that we can't acknowledge that. Okay, thank God we are. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor? If the court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? Sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. Might just be my chance. And to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Your Honor? The defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh, whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright, this person whom you would have testify, what is his or her name? Take that! Officer Jake Marshall. Sorry, Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? Can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel like we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works for the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Also, why are we never allowed to call a witness? Like, only the prosecution gets to call witnesses. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pal. Yeah, you sure are, Gumshoe, but good job. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You've already interrupted. You might as well finish what you're going to say. Got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run around while on duty, and to top it all off, you call me here? I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, detective. You better be, pal. Hey! I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Skye. That's okay. So have you brought what I asked? Oh. You mean this, right? My apologies, detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here's some. Just a little bit. You might do well to read them. I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case. This guy was a witness? The Joe Dart killings. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murderers. Take it from you? Oh, what? Now that I've brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name in here? What? My name's in there? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that... That's the classification number the police filed it under. Girl, did you know about this case beforehand and you're just like, oh, I don't know. Some serial killing that my sister was involved in and all these other people and I'm like, bleh. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dart killings. Guess you're getting fraud and forgery. You know what? Sometimes you gotta make a little splash to make a big splash. Lana, it's over with. No! Emma, wait! She ran away. Oh no. You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gann, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you, you just might be able to figure it out. Now to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright, best of luck. Better take a good look at this file. Again, why did nobody provide this to me earlier? Because, like, we've been saying since ages ago that there was very clearly a connection between whatever happened 2 years ago and this case. And Wright was just like, I think we'll just ignore that and we'll just, we'll move along. Yeah, like... Oh, and Emma's not here anymore. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand, the officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Okay, you should not be allowed to drink on the stand, come on. At least he shouldn't. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner? I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman! As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English. I mean, he's speaking plain old English. That's not the problem. My job is to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. Fuck. Said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room is protected by 2 security systems anyways. If I remember right, I was at a street-side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time to hit the trail. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Damn, get his ass. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers? Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Wow, a witness that even this fucking judge doesn't like. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. Yeah, where were you? How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? Just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still, even time dies in there. That was the caretaker who interred the recordings. You interred them? Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When time would come, I'd erase the tape. There's nothing unusual with recorded tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase the tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. He has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. Said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. You made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado I know lets rules get in his way. No desperados I know join the police force. So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime, just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. There's a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner. Can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. Why does this guy avoid being fired? Besides, the room's protected by two security systems anyways. If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon when it went down. It's an innocent traveling man, so got ammo? Yeah. Are we able to present the bloody handprint? Yes. Your Honor, he just said he didn't go in there! And we have fingerprints. Oh, I hate him so much, this fucking judge. What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. For an angel's sake, lunches can beat that part. Probably. One goal, sepia pasta. You mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That is not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson. It's strange. It's usually where Edgeworth says, did you not want a raise this year? Okay. We'll try the handprint. Okay, this is where... Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this. After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Wasn't real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. Pay my respects. That is, once I make my rounds, about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there. Nope. I only wish it were, officer. You see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what is the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away. However, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? He did say that. He said he hadn't been in he said he didn't go in there during the day and he went somewhere else. He doesn't do his rounds. Seems to me, there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall? About the blood-stained fingerprints? Really, maybe in your testimony about your fingerprints found at the scene of the crime. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be in the same place as the blood-stained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The blood-stain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See? I had nothing to do with it. Life wouldn't be any fun without any doubt, partner. That's been now cross-examined. Because he said, okay, how did you know that the guy was wearing gloves? I think that's the first detail, because I don't know if we've actually seen that in the video. Does it show anyone wearing gloves? Am I able to watch the video from here? Oh my god, I can't fast forward during this bit. I just want to see if he's wearing gloves. That one's not. Nobody was wearing gloves in that room. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be in the same place as the blood-stained handprint. So then, what about the bloody handprint? It wasn't mine. No mystery. Please explain. My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. He didn't just touch it, he opened it. Chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. You get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? You shouldn't know that. I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There's a bloodstain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. Can't let him squirm out of this one. I gotta find something. Something decisive to tie Officer Marshall to this crime. unrelated. A different night and day. And like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast, while the other's a type of murder. He's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. Let's see what homonyms I have to do with this. Except the video shows the locker was opened. Nope. Even though the video literally shows that the locker must have been opened because something was falling out of the locker. Ugh. What do we have? Can I read this? Neil Marshall is a victim. I mean, I'm assuming it's a relation, but I don't know if that's related to this. Like, the locker was clearly partially open. Like, what ties into this? Maybe this photo? I don't want to lose more lives on this, but like... I don't know what else we're supposed to... Like, what is specifically supposed to refute this? Like, I know it is refutable. Didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? Like, no, that might be the one. Because the video showed nobody wearing gloves. Nope. Tired of doing it. This, again, this stuff is always frustrating with these games, where they're just like, you have to have the one specific version of this, even though multiple of these are contradicted. Touch the locker where it was by chance. Except he didn't just touch it, he opened it! Yeah, I guess. That might be what it is. Like, but we don't know these gloves were the ones worn, do we? Yeah, no. There must be something else. Ask about this one? Like, the locker was opened during that time. Okay, what specifically connects to Officer Marshall in this? Hey, it is faulty. Because why would he touch that locker? There's no reason to. Like, we pressed him on all of these, haven't we? That's because how did you put it? Pay your respects once a month? That's right. And one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. What? What do you mean? Oh, okay, so now we're... Did I not push him on this before? Whatever. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now is the heap broken dreams. See. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from the locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. You starting to get the picture, partner? The picture? The seal of blood in the desert. It's just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. Security tape. As long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes. Then your testimony. What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. That video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Places you can't see. Can we please just acknowledge that the locker was open? I'm begging. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. That actually is a good point. I've been wondering about why that was not happening, or why we weren't acknowledging that before, but like, still. Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall is present, please do so now. Hey, please let this be the bit where we talk about the fabric. Please. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, you might end up being the one making the mistake. Let's have another look at the video. Show us this incriminating evidence. Are we gonna listen to the music? Have to go all the way through it again. Oh, I bet that's the bloody... No. Would it be the bloody coat that's in there? Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll not soon forget. You'll soon not forget? No, it's not soon forget, Officer Marshall. Days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. Yeah, I'm glad we're finally acknowledging this, because this has been making me pissed off this whole time where they're like, huh, it's his locker, it wasn't open to start with, and then something did open up. That locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe. Or that was, I believe, wrong voice. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. No wonder Marshall drinks on the job. I'd be drinking too if I had to deal with this bullshit. That's just water, to be clear. Oh, the white cloth. It's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Also, again, aren't there 8 cameras? Order, order. It would seem that's the only... Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? It doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? Because that's not how those lockers work. He isn't just playing dumb, he really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I'll call your bluff. You say open that locker, now prove it. Girl, you've had this locker for 2 years. How did nobody tell me? A fingerprint sensor? We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force who don't know about the fingerprint locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? I only got 1 word for you, partner. No! Yeah, I'm certain that we talked about this earlier in the trial, and we're like, yeah, there's a fingerprint sensor. And he was like, I don't know what that is. Witness, explain yourself. If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. I don't know what this accent is becoming anymore. It sounds like Brittany Broski trying to do a country accent. I assure you, this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Ole, please answer the question. What is he now, a bullfighter? That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure out the rest from here. You can? Not you, me. Have a look at these floor plans. There is no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right, the only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? He was the attacker. Or he was... I guess the victim, technically. I think it was Jerky. Officer Marshall was standing right here. There, but that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the room, I asked him to show his card. Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond? But then he suddenly pulled a knife on me. That fucking horn sound. I'm going to throttle someone. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it, because the ID card would show a different face than his. That's also true. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. You have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You got quite an imagination, partner. Got a term for that. Called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? Still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. You aren't a detective, unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care for your beard, but we don't see me complaining. This is the second time. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have anything evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Oh, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. Can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. Basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Phoenix, try thinking outside the box. That's not helpful. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was open in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might have been discovered later, as it has been. It means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Judge Goodman, or Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he sashed the disguise. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of that locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence. This video is my only shot. Very well. Let's take another look at that security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open this locker. I'm going to run to the bathroom really quickly. I am so sorry. I meant to pause it before we got to this. Ad's about to run anyways. I'm going to mute the audio on this, so you guys don't have to listen to this. I will be right back. Okay, we're back. Yeah, I don't know why we have to go through this 8 million times. The coat was bloody. Wish I had something to drink in here. Maybe I'll go get some... I had a Smirnoff Ice during one of the breaks, so I can have that to drink. For some reason, you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman. Entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked. And the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. Bloody white coat. You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. Is he admitting? Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're ready, or I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to have been here now, would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did, all of it. Oh, I drink a fair amount of vodka. See, I mean, like, a Smirnoff Ice, though, is just like the pre-mixed vodka lemonade things. Seems the time has come. Marshall's confession. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. But there was an assault. You have still committed a crime. So the supposed victim really was you. There's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? That was from Meekins. Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. Way too much blood for such a small donation. Marshall's confession. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. When you say it, do you even have to ask, partner? SL9 incident. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transfer that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over. What did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care about it so much? That day was my last chance. That's why I stole the detective's ID. Why does he care so much? We know, because he's related to one of the victims of the killer. Stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I plan to take out the evidence. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera. And the detective's ID card? Sold that morning of the incident. That really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report. I returned his ID card, left it on the floor of the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But he could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a one-in-a-million type of person. He's taking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year. Why does Edgeworth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way. I mean, knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. So you knocked Officer Meekins out and you managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So you did your research beforehand. For those who go into the desert unprepared, don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. Security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. Opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is, on that day, there wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place. What, are you blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole the evidence from the locker. Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence is already gone. What, Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. That is not how a courtroom works. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer, this is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. Is he gonna tell me? Well, that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at the trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why are you so concerned with that incident? Yeah, I know why. I thought I might just have to push him first. Also, let me just make sure I get the right section of this. I'm sure it's... Yeah, it's just in the victim section. Okay. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall? Yeah. Sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago. Oh. You received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? A prosecutor? You must be talking about the King of Prosecutors award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right. He was killed. The case fell into your hands. What's his relation to you? He was my brother. Aw. He was investigating the murders of Damon Gant, then Deputy Chief of Police. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. It was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least according to the public record. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions? There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you're trying to hide it, you can't fool me. So there's another murderer? And Joe Dark is still out there? Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 case could have been reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Accent slipped back into Officer Marshall's voice. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery's finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At the exact same time as the murder in the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on in the police department. Well, I'm assuming that there was like actual evidence that there was a struggle. I'm guessing that's what that smashed pot is. Chance? It's gotta be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, it means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one. Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime, Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye. But wait, a verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial. Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. Seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner. All the mysteries of the police department have been resolved. No doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye, and the testimony of one Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. Oh. I rest my case on the edge of a cliff. Seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. It doesn't! Time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant... Hold it. Who's interrupting me? Thank God! Someone! Your Honor, wait! Emma, the defense has an objection. A scientific objection. Right? What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor? Oh, in a sense. Please, Your Honor. All I'm asking for is a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. She is 16. I was kind of in shock. I've been finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings. Now that she mentions it, the names of both the Skye sisters were on that file. But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day, so I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing, the other handprint. I mean, the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. But no fingerprints were found on it, right? No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again. Hi, Bisake. How are you doing? How's it going? So, did you find something? No. Huh? Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Love that for her. She's like, yeah, I didn't do anything. Is that all? Please don't be mad, I'm just a high school student. I'm just a little guy. And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me? Oh boy. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright, with regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Yeah. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be more of use, but still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be... Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. If I ever needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with the handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could be something I'm missing. I mean, I have to object, right? The handprint left at the scene of the crime clearly shows a contradiction. One thing that seems to be clear is that you're grasping. Staring pretty intently at those floor plans, tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Oh, duh. The dancing thing. Something that when drawn will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. I was pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Alright, Mr. Wright, if there's evidence, there's something I can use. The question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plan? As they say back west, even a blind man can hit with bugshot, as long as he's facing the general direction. Seems Mr. Wright's not sure which direction to face. The more evidence there is, the greater the chance of being wrong. Calm down. What? They asked not what thing was there, they asked me what evidence proves that it was there. Maybe the defense is simply trying to buy time. Is there anything else that would prove something was missing in the floor plans? It has to be this, right? Oh, thank God. What about that piece of plywood? The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. Defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here. So watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well, what? That's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would have been impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker. What? That means... Just what exactly does that mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me, I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, think about it scientifically. Weren't you on the witness stand a minute ago? What is happening here? Emma, on that afternoon... Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? After you put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in. Just one moment, I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. You won't? Since when? It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice. But how? One time was captured on this tape taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is the other time. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been... Detective Goodman, when he was really murdered. Yeah. He was killed here, taken out, and whatever else. I refuse to... The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be fake. However, it does not explain the blood mark found on the locker. So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? To summarize, the defense claims that, prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. That's right, the blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well, then tell us. When did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edwards said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. Only one piece of evidence that can show that. Has to have been this. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, the killer would have had to have entered it. In order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card? Oh, the ID card record! Yeah, duh. Officer Meekins brought the blue badger panel into the evidence room at, let's see here, 4:50. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40. Ah! Miles Edgeworth. Miles Edgeworth, just what have you done? Also, thank you for the hydration check, Dits. Never would have figured that. Or you had the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it could have or couldn't have been me. No, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminol test that the blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer and Meekins had failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Let's look at the chart again. Only one other card number remaining. 7777777. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make any sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? There's no record of his card being used beforehand. He must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 7777777. Yeah, I've been wondering who this is. Look at this ASAP. Please look out, or please find out whose ID number is 7777777. That's one 7 too many, Your Honor. Oh. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card, at least at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number belongs to someone with the rank of captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. Well, that's ridiculous. Just how... I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There's one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge. You're all alike, aren't you? Your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates. Take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I'd appreciate if you'd keep your slander to yourself. Slander it? Or is it? Okay, let me ask a question. No, not to you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana. Shh, don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number, and it's not 7777777. Don't blame me for a fool, partner. That's not what I wanted to ask. All I want to know is one thing. About that incident. SL9? Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Finger gun. Why are you on the stand now? Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Huh? Lana. I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. And before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant, just what are you saying? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? And you looked me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did. Chief Prosecutor, you didn't... I don't have to, Officer Marshall. Well, why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to. In order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana, even if it involved forging evidence. Huh. Edgeworth got accused of forging it, but maybe it was just her. See? That's what I'm talking about. No. No! Order, order, order! Lana's remarks caused such a stir, but the chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of that would have to wait until the following day. We're not allowed to have another day, are we? I thought that was our final day. Also, I think we might run... yeah, we're gonna keep going. Oh god, wait, there can't be more days of this. Can there? I guess the trial started on day 2, didn't it? We're gonna try and go through at least this investigation. Sorry for what my sister said. I didn't know. I never knew the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings. Also, let me check something really quickly here. Trying to see if... Okay. So we might end up taking a little bit of an extended break. We'll see. Like, we're going to continue with this for a while, and then we'll take a longer break than normal. Joe Dark killings. Wait, why? Oh, yeah, the recording broke. Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me. Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean what happened to you? It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma? On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. So that means you... Yes, I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial. I didn't see that one coming. Happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of year, too. It was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning something, and suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe Dark. It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage. Before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then... what happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out. And suddenly, bolts of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture into my mind. I still see it now. Permanent picture? I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall. I keep reading it as Drake. So you weren't able to testify about that? No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why why she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean. It's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. So it's true, even though he may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold like she is today. She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. What did you see in the instant that crime occurred? Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma. You've been through so much. I also love that she still has the same outfit, basically. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that incident. I tried, but the words wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. A few years ago, you must have been 14. That's understandable. Poor girl. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I wanted to be able to fight crime with my testimonies, and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right? That's right. Why, then, would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor? Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police? Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. Why run all the way over to your sister's? The detective office and questioning room were right across from the elevator. Across from the elevator? Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly, didn't I tell you? 2 years ago she was a detective. She was the best in the entire force. What? That's news to me. After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Lana used to be a detective? You better have another talk with her. God damn it. Lana. Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble. Falsifying evidence? I didn't know you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul, why should we? But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana, Emma told me about you. Oh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago. How the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on the details, especially about the unusual change of jobs? I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. A trial. It wasn't really fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At the trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is that at 5:15 there was no murder in the police department. Tell me it's not true, Lana, what the witness, Miss Starr, said. About you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Was she the serial killer all along? Why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so phased before. It's true, I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing. They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together. Chief Gant? He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever! They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed. Emma really idolizes her big sister. And now you're chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes so you could use that experience in court, right? Gant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more of this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating, detectives investigating Dark. Second in command, that means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, right? Yes, Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations. We even had the same office. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place, when he tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Now you tell us. Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. Fuck, I keep on making a mistake. The investigation was in its final stages and Dark must have suddenly panicked. They waited until Gant and Marshall let the guards down, then fled the room. And they ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself. That's where he found me. You were the first person to run to the scene, Lana? It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. Fuck! A knife in his back. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies, Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, and Emma, who had passed out. And the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall had struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her. Blame her after her. Yeah. After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. We were all involved in the SL9 incident. Wait, quite a coincidence. I don't buy it. What are you saying? No way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident just by chance. That case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person who went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall. Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. Because he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark. Life doesn't end with closing of the case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right? Yeah, in the office we shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself, the Chief's office. We should have a look at the Chief's office to cite the final SL9 murder. Don't see Gumshoe anywhere. Things seem kind of quiet around here today. You're right. Chief and detective seems the same though. Why don't we go looking for some other people to talk to? Okay, we'll come back here later, I guess. Howdy, Bambina. Oh, Mr. Marshall. Never thought things would turn out this way when I woke up this morning. Wait, Sarah. Never know what life will lead you, eh, Bambina? Should've known my luck would have run out when old Billy dried up this morning. Billy? Must be spec cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, so we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. Mr. Marshall, why? Why'd you do it? Why'd the prospectors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? So I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean fishy? Some of the facts reported weren't consistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. Murder weapon? You mean the switchblade that... or knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Dark's alright, but in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. Question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there's a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. The facts have been concealed? Forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us. Scars of the SL9 incident left behind. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he? Your brother. He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean the... Being a prosecutor. I knew it. What are you looking at me like that for? It's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have been really close with his brother. The day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as... That's right. It's the day of the evidence transfer. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. Can't believe 2 years have gone by already. Tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently, someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered and the evidence locker was empty. There's something going on behind the scenes of that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Miss Starr was fired, and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? They did something to him too, the commissioner would get suspicious. You know, they were careful enough to not be too obvious. They? Who are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Sky, or Damon Gant, and Lana Sky. The investigation lead, Damon Gant, and the second in command, Lana Sky. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Oh wait, that's the wrong place. Yeah. Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. Never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Sky was a totally different person back when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, Emma said something like that too. Tell me, what happened to my sister? Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. On a secret, it all started 2 years ago. So there you have it. That's my story. You enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. One thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. Someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. Might even be a patrolman after today. Too bad I won't be around to work with you. When you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. Aww. Thanks. Well, actually talk to us. The chief prosecutor saying what she did and the decision about what to do about Edgeworth. Not to mention her statement to the media and tomorrow's trial. More chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. Yeah, festive is usually the word for that. We'd like to look around Chief Gant's office. Just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor. Really? It's okay for us to go there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Hey, you're right, you can't go in there. It's off limits. Now I see where Gumshoe gets his unique charm. What are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office. I want to at least get to the trial, but I also don't want to go too late today. February 24th, Police Department Chief's Office. Actually, we might keep going, because there is something big happening around, I think it's around 5 PM my time. Chief's office, silly. At least that's what it said on the door. Anyway, try that back more. It's real, isn't it? I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Bach. We'll probably go up until the trial unless it takes too long. I never could remember where C was. Hmm? Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant! He put that paper he was reading in his desk. So, Wright, have you been swimming lately? No, I haven't. Been kind of busy lately. I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full too with Mr. Marshall's misconduct and Lana's provocative statement. Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence. 2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. Is that big picture on the wall over there? What's up with the scarf on that suit of armor there? That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me. This is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took it to commemorate our work together. Something's not right with this picture. Oh, and the vase in the background. I can't seem to put my finger on it, though. Gant team picture added to the court record. It's the vase, and it's the scarf thing. Well, that might still be just on there. That might not be relevant. Could be used, but... Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together. This office was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it? The case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore. All the same, we'd still like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. Looks like we aren't welcome. Seems that case isn't over with yet after all. What do you mean? Chief Gant denied our request to search the crime scene. It means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there. You mean like a clue? There's got to be a way we can get inside the chief's office. No one's here today, not even Miss Sarr. I'm busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detective lab reproved today. And... Yeah. Finally making some headway in our case. It's called breaking and entering. Yeah. Said it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. We've got to find all the answers by tomorrow. Edgeworth isn't here. He's being questioned by an inquiry committee. Hey, pal. Oh, thank God, it is Gumshoe. Are you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm taking a breather. My feet hurt. I'm sitting so long? Actually, from serving everyone coffee. Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No, why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battle's between you two in court. That sounds serious. Is it because of what my sister said? That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood. Yikes. Why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Skye is the guilty party here, isn't she? Regardless, the prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor has kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now with this, are there really so many people who hate him? In our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. No better recipe I know of for making enemies. Hey, Dick, keep up the good work. Yes, sir. Let's go out for lunch again sometime. My treat. Yes, sir. Gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick? Yes, sir. Seems you don't have any problems with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth might just crack. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while the coffee was brewing. Seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth. Find out anything? Only evidence Stark left behind during his final attack. Final attack, you mean when he killed Prosecutor Marshall, he was trying to protect some girl. Me. Seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl. That's when he left behind the most incriminating evidence of all. Well, what was it? I see. I think it had something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forget. It's somewhere written. Look, it's all written down there somewhere. About this. Hey, is that... There's a tag attached to it with the label SL9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of. What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, the knife's been locked away in a locker. On the day Detective Goodwin was murdered, it suddenly disappeared from the locker. It was found in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. That's it. Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me. What is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again. Oh, fuck. Those all were Dark's crimes. 42 at the time of the crime. He's just a run-of-the-mill businessman. What made him take to serial killing? One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car. His car? So it was an accident. An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal. Animal? He killed a man that witnessed it. A kid walked by just then, so he killed him too. Dog came on the scene, he killed him as well. Finally, he turned himself in. Seems he was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. So he turned himself in. But in the middle of questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim. Prosecutor Marshall. The crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Dark was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. That last witness. AKA Emma. What about the murder weapon? This knife, it was Joe Dark's, wasn't it? That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at, plus it had his fingerprints on it too. But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right? That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you see it's broken. You want to take a good look to notice that. Yeah, well anyway, take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in. Where was it? The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. It's found deep inside the stab wound. Did it match Drake's knife? Or Dark's knife? Fuck. You bet, down to the last fiber. That's pretty conclusive. Neil's autopsy report added to the court record. Switchblade knife updated in the court record. There you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know. Can I ask you one more thing? What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant. It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? The prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. Chief's out now and his office is locked, but we'd like to have a look around if that's okay. Yeah, I don't really know what's up with the fibers thing, but why not? Well, any detective's ID can unlock the door. What, really? But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust. Breach of trust? Simply put, I'd be canned. Oh, sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you. Not with his ID card. It was Detective Goodman's. That one worked either. Data was deleted the day he died. Oh. I'm sure it's the only chance of getting into that office. I wonder if there's something we can show him that would change his mind. About that jar, I think I've seen it somewhere. Somewhere? Or maybe it's one of those memories people have from previous lives. Uninformed detective. Something about it makes me feel uneasy. It's like I'm in the chief's office and he's yelling at me. Chief Gant? Where have I seen that before? Let me share a little advice with you. This is where you've seen it before, dipshit. ID card record, isn't it? Yes, there's one number left to investigate at 4:20 p.m. The victim, Detective Goodman, must have entered the evidence room along with someone else. Someone with an executive officer number. 77777777. 17 too many, Detective. An executive officer. I just might have a hunch. That's it, the King Prosecutor's Board. Yeah, this is the one. This guy almost made us lose the case today. What are you talking about? He was guarding the bloodstain on that evidence locker with his life. More than you can say about most officers nowadays. Would have saved us a lot of trouble if he hadn't guarded it so well. I have to admit he's right, though. Thanks to the Blue Badger, we were able to prove another possibility today. The possibility that another murder took place prior to 5:15. I need to find a reason to let him in, or let us in. Nothing wrong with Edgeworth's presentation. I think people are accusing him of injustice. I for one ain't buying it. Looking as the case for Edgeworth? Yeah, it was a pretty big deal what was going on, you know. After all, a serial killer was on the loose. Lana was pretty clear in her confession. She forged evidence. You know, Marshall, of course, he was like a mentor to me when I first started. He gave me... Yeah. The dick, she listed all your troubles. Herself, Detective Gumshoe, or talks to a cactus. Hard to believe he's just a patrolman now. Someone ought to trade places with him. What? Why are you looking at me like that? we need to find something to show him, convince him to let us in. Will this work? Where's my Chinese badge? Did we ever get to see the knife? Like the broken tip? Oh, a lost item report, huh? Very impressive, detective. You knew what it was right off the bat. I'm a master of misplacement, you know. Such a cool ring to it. I see, if things aren't meant to be lost, then or if meant to be lost, they're meant to be lost. Higher power at work here. Higher power? Maybe I shouldn't let Emma hold the evidence. Oh, fuck. The locker can be opened without a fingerprint match. Besides, there's no reason for the murderer to touch his own locker. Wasn't your locker the one covered with blood? And into the real murderer's gloved hand without any fingerprints. They come to arrest me, you'll defend me, won't you? If that happens, I think you'll do better pleading with Edgeworth. I don't know what we're supposed to do here. Yeah, you're gonna be fucking useless, just like always. Can't stand you, Lana. Oh. Have a good night. Thank you for stopping by, Alice. We're probably gonna wrap up pretty soon anyways. We'll just finish the investigation on another day. What about you? Let's break apart. What do you mean? Oh, it's already broken. No one up here either, right? There it is. Look at these writings. Oh, he is back. Okay. What are you doing here? You sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Update in court, huh? I've lived the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me? Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you. It's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. First of all, I'm gonna take that. I wonder what he was writing. Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's have a look. Edgeworth's sitting right there. I'll distract. Hey, Edgeworth. Is that Detective Gum through the window over there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground! Hold on. First, let me see what this girl's doing crawling around at my feet. He didn't even look. What? Letter of... You're having trouble reading. I'll read it for you. It says letter of resignation. Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean... I'm tired, right? Feels as if something inside of me has died. Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault. I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been a just one. Can't forgive myself for what I've done. No one else should forgive me for it either. Uh-oh, I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something. What if I can use it for anything? Can I read it? Due to recent events, I hereby announce my resignation as public prosecutor. He really wrote a resignation letter. Wow. Even when he was resigning, he was cool and concise. It wasn't his fault. Someone has to be held responsible for his in the grown-up world. Forged evidence. No excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I can do to erase that fact. You didn't know, did you? That the evidence was falsified, I mean. The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error. My responsibility is the prosecutor in charge. That fact remains the same no matter what excuses I might have. Mr. Edgeworth, I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why has it all come to this? Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? First last year's trial, now this one. Seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial. Tomorrow's the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? List of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice this long. It's only half as long as most? That is odd. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time. Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time. Picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office. Prosecutor Neil Marshall had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes, the trophy he's holding. It's a little different than yours. Yes, you're right. I remember now. Remember what? That's what the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago. It had a knife through it. There's a story behind its design. A story? Sounds interesting. Do you mind telling us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award is based on. Okay, let's talk about the day of the crime. Can you tell us what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered. You were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right? Never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. Because you were awarded this? Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department. Finished up at the office? Yes, just odds and ends, clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. It is until I was asked to take something back. Take something back? This. Oh yeah, Chief Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't he? Yes, there's a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. Was he trying to frame Edgeworth? That's the story we heard yesterday. He came back here because the prosecutor's office asked, or because the chief asked you to. That's right. Hey, prosecutors. This word originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first meaning halberd and the second means shield. Have you heard the story? Me? Oh, sure, everyone knows that. But why don't you tell it anyways, for Emma's sake? Very well. Long ago in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield and armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute. Those claims contradict each other. Very perceptive. But then again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless. And thus, the Chinese word for contradiction was born. I don't know if it's really true, but like... Let's see, so the chipped shield and the broken knife symbolize... Precisely, they symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words, but it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this. Wow, thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. It's funny. If that's so, why were you only given a shield? I'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, we had the halberd part of the award abolished. Chief Gant. Wow, I wonder if that was a real murder weapon. King Prosecutor's Trophy updated in the court record. Say where there's smoke, there's fire. Apparently I was so caught up in the smoke I lost sight of the truth. Edgeworth, the others are right. I have no right to serve as a prosecutor. Mr. Edgeworth, you're only doing your job. I've always made my own decisions about what I can or cannot do. That hasn't changed. Forgiving myself is something I cannot do. Uh-oh, I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something. Solder resignation. I wonder if I can use it. Okay. We're kind of running a little bit long here, and I want to be able to take a bit of a break at least before we do Cyberpunk. So, I think we're probably going to save here. And then come back to this another day. I'm not sure when exactly, because it's, you know, end of the donathon, but I need to take a break. So, excuse me. Thank you very much for watching, whether you're here for some of this, all of it, bits and pieces. I'm gonna try and come back around 3, ideally, like as close to then as I can. But yeah, I'm not really. Hopefully, it'll be as soon as possible. Anyways, once we're back, we're gonna be playing Cyberpunk 2077, and maybe taking a little break in the middle of that, an intermission to see some stuff. Because who knows? Maybe there's stuff happening today. Anyways, it's not like I'm like hiding a conspiracy. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again shortly for some Cyberpunk.